They win it 31-25. They are 4-0. The Bucs, their first loss. Jalen Hurts afterwards.
I'm just proud of the way that we competed. Didn't quit. Found a way. Played very well situationally to an extent. Obviously a lot that we can improve from. But it's always good to get a win out here, and they don't come easy. And so we had to go out there and earn it, and we did.
I mean, the fight, you're going to have that every week, but you can't fight and get behind the 8 ball against good teams and expect to win. So we're always going to have fight, and we just got to clean up mistakes now. It's getting to that point where we got to cut them down.
Jalen Hurts, I got to know him a little. It's not even chill. He's just so even-keeled. Look, so the Philadelphia Eagles are 20-1 in their last 21 games. And one of the things that I took from the visit there, it doesn't matter how it looks, how we win. We figure out a way to win. To your point, what, they barely had 200 yards, right?
Boom, they had 200 yards of offense. And to your point about Hurts, he's not positioned where he's bothered by who gets the credit. It doesn't matter who gets the credit to him. 200 yards of offense. They won the game. Block punt. Defense gave them short fields. They were able to capitalize on short fields. And in the end, all that matters is they win. Everybody has this conversation about him, about where do you put him? Is he a top quarterback? The name of the game is to win the football games. And he's doing that at a higher level than anybody, Boom. So you got to give this team credit. It doesn't matter how they win. They know how to win. And the coach and the quarterback don't care who gets the credit.
And they're very much together, even though it doesn't look one's excitable and one is Saquon has 237 yards through 4 weeks. What's wrong with the Eagles? Nothing.
They're undefeated.
They're 4-0. Now, Tampa Bay, give them credit. This is what they do. They're the most, we said it last week, we'll repeat it again. The most exciting team in football because offensively, Baker's never out of it. Defensively, Todd Bowles sends the guys. But special teams, again, it almost cost them the last 2 weeks. This time, even though it was early, it turned out to be a score that the Bucs needed.
No doubt. Special teams is a problem. They got to get that fixed. They're without 2 of their starting offensive linemen. Mike Evans didn't play. Some guys got hurt. When they're at their best, they can compete with the Eagles, Boom, but they got to be at full strength. Today, they were playing without a full deck, and they still almost beat the Eagles. So I think if you're a Buccaneer fan, you feel really good about what you are. At some point, Evans is coming back. You're going to get one of your 2 offensive linemen back. With a full team, they can compete with the top of the teams in the NFC. But today, it's too much to ask, especially turning the football over by Bucky Irvin and Baker throwing a pick in the end zone.
And Philly didn't. I mean, 200, but you don't turn the ball over.
There you go.
They put a lot into this game, Philly.
They did.
And it almost, they went into saunas during the week. And anyway,
trying to acclimate to the heat.
Listen, it's 35 degrees in Connecticut. He thinks it's cold. It's great in December. Don't be kidding me. Josh's numbers, well, you see it, throw it, whatever. But again, 30 points is what the Bills do for Josh Allen.
You know, we weren't doing ourselves any favors. A couple boneheaded penalties, boneheaded mistakes, throwing a pick doesn't help. Defense had our back, though. You know, they played great all night or all day today. And, you know, again, just got to keep finding ways to keep moving the ball, staying in front of the chains, first downs, you know, and, again, not turning the ball over.
You don't want to pour water on a 4-0 start, on 3-0 at home this year.
Yeah.
We're 10-0 at home last year, so the last home loss was the AFC Championship game 2 years ago to the Chiefs. But after 10 days and kind of a tougher than expected win over Miami, I think the Bills will feel a win is a win is a win, but they're not blowing teams out who maybe they should be way on top of.
They won't be satisfied, Boom, with how they played, especially defensively. Anytime you give up almost 200 yards rushing, it's a defense that's designed to get after the passer, where you have to be able to stop the run, and they couldn't do it today, almost 200 yards. And I think that if your head coach, Sean McDermott, who's a defensive guy, it's something you got to get shown up. The record doesn't matter. Buffalo is going to be in the postseason. It's not about what the record is. It's about, can you play winning football against the teams you need to play when it counts? And today they won, but the Saints are not the upper echelon. They're not playing to their ceiling right now. Offensively, Josh Allen is always going to be able to bail them out. They got to get better at the little things, because little things creep in, and they want to be playing their best come January.
Yeah, authoritative defense.
Yeah,
it's good.
Yes, exactly.
And they're 4-0. They've scored 133 points.
Yes.
So that's a good start, obviously. Speaking of good starts,
Yeah.
Jackson Dart. Fans were calling for it. You figure there was an early cave.
Yeah.
Wrong. Boy, it changed everything, didn't it?
Boom! It's amazing what confidence will do, because everybody in the stands were happy. The team was excited. Did you see Brian Daboll, the
Very
head coach?
good.
It's amazing what that'll do to get a team to go out and play. A team that hadn't won a game against a team that was undefeated. I couldn't tell which was which today. And that's because when you bring in the young quarterback, he brings the energy boom, and the young quarterback makes me on defense play better. It makes special teams play a little bit harder. It's that boost of excitement. Now, you go back, you learn from it, and you hope he's a little bit better every game. But Brian Daboll today, good for him playing the rookie, good for him getting the win today. They got something in Jackson Dart. If only for one game, it was worth the right move.
Well, he played with moxie.
Yes.
Played like I belong here, not,
Yeah.
okay, I got the start, but.
Yeah.
The Chargers, look, they're 3-1. They're in first place. Their wins are all in the division. This is the first non-division game. They came all the way east. The rookie running back looked really good at Hampton. Defensively, it wasn't as authoritative as they've been. Is there any concern? You're not going to win every game, so let me temper that a little. Is there any, Booger?
It's a little concern. They're missing their 2 starting tackles. Joe Alt got hurt today, so they're on their 3rd and 4th tackles. Khalil Mack is out. The injuries may start to mount up because they play a physical style of football. So my only concern, Boom, does the physicality wear on this team throughout the season? Because we know what style of ball their head coach wants to play. But you're right. Herbert is playing his way into the MVP conversation. Quentin Johnson has been reborn. He looks like a true number 1 receiver. I love all that, but the injuries are the one thing they can't control.
So the Rams are 3-1. Good team, obviously. Colts are 3-1. We told you Puka 13 for 170. We told you, and the Rams on Thursday night play San Francisco.
Yeah.
So that division, everyone is critical. So where do we want to start here? Are we on Colts Rams? So I know the Colts lost it. We're going to start with them.
Yeah.
You tell me every week, boom, you're not seeing everything. There's no fall off in them. They just made mistakes today. The penalties and the spike. There you go.
They turned the football over 3 times, Boom, and then you have the safety going out of the back of the end zone, or the touchback going out of the back of the end zone. They can't make those mistakes. But they finally have a quarterback in Daniel Jones that's giving them an opportunity. And even with those mistakes, they're still in the game. They got a good football team. What they're going to do is learn when you get in these tight games. These games in the NFL are decided by the smallest margins, and they can't make the mistakes. I leave this game, I'm not deterred from the Colts.
No.
I know I went on the road in Los Angeles against the Rams. I think the Rams are one of the top 4 teams in the NFC. And so for the coach to go out there and play with them, I feel really good about where they are. You just can't turn the ball over.
And the reason you just said that about the Rams is, look, Matthew Stafford, his back, is it going to hold up? Look, we're not doctors. Looks pretty good to me.
Yes. Not only does it look good, he's got 2 really big-time receivers. And I thought they showed themselves well against the Philadelphia Eagles, Boom, and they came back. And they didn't play their best, but what they have an offense that's explosive, that can help even when they turn the football over. You got Puka, you got Devontae Adams, you got Kyron Williams. Matthew Stafford. They can put points on the board against anybody, and they always know that with Matthew Stafford back there and an aggressive play caller in Coach Sean McVay, they can play and they can score with anybody. This is a really good team. Don't be surprised if they're right back at the top of the NFC as far as 1-2 in the conference when it's all said and done.
Well, they're almost 4-0.
No question.
They went into Philly
No
and did
question.
it. The Pittsburgh Steelers, little different look than last year, but it's the same. They have the 9 lives of a cat.
Yeah.
First week, they get a 60-yard field goal, beat the Jets. Last week, they could have lost at New England, but they forced 5 turnovers. This time, 80-yard touchdown pass, but, you know, they withstood a Viking comeback. Here's the bottom line. Pittsburgh wins, and rather than winning 16-13 all year last year, now they're in the low 20s. This allows that defense to come and hit a ceiling that we haven't even come close to yet. You agree with that?
No doubt. They haven't played their best, Boom. Their ceiling is so much higher than last year. They have Rodgers, and he only threw the football 22 times today.
Right.
They ran the football a lot. They're good. That's the formula that Mike Tomlin wants to play with. But they have the ability, if and when he needs to, he can throw it 40 times. They got an explosive receiver in DK Metcalf, 80-yard touchdown today. And defensively, when they're healthy, you got Watt, you got Hayward, you got Ramsey, you got a bunch of guys over there that understand how to make big plays. I think Mike Tomlin feels really good about this team.
The Chiefs finally lighted up on offense against the Ravens. They win it 37-20. John Harbaugh's team 1-3 on Lamar's status.
I don't have any really updates on seriousness of injuries right now. There's nothing that looks like it's season-ending by any stretch for anybody, any of those guys. But we'll have to look at those injuries tomorrow and see where we're at going forward. I'm concerned, but I'm not overwhelmed by it. You know, we played the 3 losses are against probably 3 of the top teams in the league for sure. You know, and that's just the hand we've been dealt. But it doesn't really matter. We've got to win the next game, and then once you win the next game, then you have a chance to start stacking some wins. And
yeah, he's just so explosive. I mean, you just see it when you get the football in his hands, man. It just makes the defenses have to adjust, and when they adjust, it's like he gets so much attention on him. Other guys can make plays happen, and so just having him out there, not only for his physical ability, but just the morale of the room, I thought it was huge.
Well, let's start with the Chiefs. This looked better, well, much better offensively. They could run some. Pacheco looked more like he's supposed to look. And one by one, they're getting their parts back on offense. Rice in 2 more weeks. And we're not surprised. The Chiefs, they've been waiting for a game like this. It took really 3.5 games.
Well, what's been their issue? It's been the explosiveness of the offense. And now you insert Xavier Worthy. He's got 120 all-purpose yards. The speed and the explosiveness and the scary element of their offense is backbone. And I think that's one of the things that you saw the smile on Patrick Mahomes' face. Because now defenses have to back up. And what does that do? That opens up Kelsey underneath. That opens up the ability to run the football. They missed Xavier Worthy. Hollywood Brown now has more room to operate. Rashee Rice is going to come back. And so slowly but surely, the pieces of this offense has come back. And if you looked at both of these teams, they both came into this game 1-2. And you said which team could least afford to be 1-3? It was Kansas City. And they played with just a little bit more desperation in Baltimore.
Right, and because the Chargers, and then they lost their first game.
Yes.
Look, it's way early to look at standings, and Coach Harbaugh is saying the right things. They did, they scored 40 at Buffalo and they lost. They played Detroit, they played the Chiefs, but the Ravens expect to win these. Defensively, I understand. Matabuke's out. They have Van Noy. I get it. Defensively, this is not what we're used to from the Ravens, even though they played electric offense.
Defensively, they have to be better, especially the pass defense. It's been a problem for the last 2 years. It continues to be a problem. That's number one. Number two, in the biggest game, Boom, what did we say? In the biggest games, Lamar has to play better. Through an interception, he fumbled the football. He has to make up for a defense that's lacking playmaking ability right now. He didn't do it. They're 1-3, and I get it. The schedule has been hard, but guess what? It's the NFL. It's going to be hard. They are in a big hole right now. Lucky for them, Cincinnati's not going anywhere. Pittsburgh looks to be very formidable. They have to be very careful because the losses start to stack up really easy.